Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Vanilla, baby.
Welcome in. It is Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard, live downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. And this show is brought to you by DraftKings. Kicking off this hour, talking Premier League, soccer this week with Nigel Seeley. Nigel, good morning, mate. Thanks for the time. Happy holidays. Hope you had a great Christmas. I bet and I lost on Aston Villa and Man U. I bet the draw the other day. Now, that's 2-0 Villa, and Man U comes back to even it up at 2 apiece, and I thought, okay, maybe I can get the Christmas miracle here. They put another one in late to win 3-2. A couple things in. How bad of a loss was that for Villa, in your opinion? And then, how dangerous, if at all, do you think Man U can be? They have 31 points in the table, and they're 6th overall.
Happy holidays, you both.
Yep.
Yeah, very good to be back here over the Christmas period. Okay, let's look at your first. Well, you're not the only one who lost money on that match, Mitch. I lost money on that. I bet Aston Villa on the money line, and I bet them on the draw no bet market. And at half time, I was counting the cash, 2-0 up. Yeah. Man United offering nothing at all. I think let's look at the first time now. It's the first time that Aston Villa Football Club have ever been in this kind of scenario that they're considered likely winners of the Premier League. So the pressure on them as being a rookie, so to speak, in this kind of position, it's hard for them. And that's what you saw. You saw them sort of sit back, defend, think we got 2-0 lead and we can go. And when you got 70,000 people who suddenly get some kind of belief that they can win, it gives a lift of the players. That's what happened in that match. I didn't actually watch the match. I'm sounding like I watched the match. I told you before that I was at my mother-in-law's and she's 85 and doesn't have the Sky TV channel that we were watching on. I was playing cards at the time and she even beat me as well. So it made it a very bad evening. But anyway, we're going back to Manchester United Football Club. Manchester United Football Club have been, when I was a young kid, Man United was a team that nobody really could remember winning anything. They run things in the 60s, in the 70s. They were a team that they were in the English Championship, the league below the Premier League. And it's only in the sort of the 90s and the early 2000s that Manchester United really did become the biggest team in this country. They go through transition periods. You see that in soccer teams. Liverpool have gone, since soccer's become quite popular, you saw Liverpool now become a really fashionable team. In the 90s, they really struggled to win anything for many, many years. So I think Man United are in a transitional period, but they have a huge home support. They have a huge expectation when they go onto the pitch. And when they get the little sense that they can win something, then Old Trafford is an unbelievable place. If Aston Villa had scored the third goal and made it 3-0, it would have been a toxic place. The crowd would have left and it would have been very different. So whether they can challenge, I don't think they can challenge. I think the manager is always under huge pressure to get a result because he's always the favourite to lose his job. I don't think there's anyone else out there at the moment. It's going to cost them a lot of money to get rid of him. And Manchester United Football Club have just gone over from a takeover. But they're so inconsistent. You look at the data in some of their matches, they're top four. Then you look at some other data in their football matches, they're bottom four. They are just a bad beat at the moment and a bad team to follow. New Year's resolutions come in a couple of days' time, and I think if you're betting Manchester United at the moment, they'll be off my New Year's resolution not to bet on because you don't really know what to expect. But I don't think they're going to challenge. That's my point here. But I think they'll probably finish about 6th in the Premier League table.
You think Liverpool wins it? And state the case for why you like Liverpool in their next match Monday.
Well, I hope they win it. I really hope they win it. I mean, we've got a fantastic title race here. We've got some Manchester City last night coming back from Saudi and then winning 3-1 at Everton was a result that any Liverpool bettor or any Arsenal bettor didn't want. If they had dropped those points there, they were 1-0 down. The fact they showed some character and they've got some big players to come back, De Bruyne and Harden as well. Liverpool are in the mix. I mean, I bet them at the start of the season 8-1. If you told me that where they are now with the points they got and the odds there, I'm a happy man. So I'm not really we've got a race. We've got three teams that are going to go all the way down to the wire. And I think we've got a really good race. So I'm happy with the position they are. The reason I like them against Newcastle is Liverpool have an incredible home record in any competition. They played 14 matches this season. And they've virtually unbeaten in all those matches. They are unbeaten in those 14 matches. The bet I like here against Newcastle is Liverpool -1 goal on the Asian handicap. It was about minus 135. So if Liverpool win, we get a push. If they win by more than one, we cash. In 14 matches this season at home, Liverpool you would have cashed on -1 in 11 of those matches. One of them was a push, and the other two lost. And the two they lost against was Arsenal and Manchester United. Arsenal was a 1-0 win. A 1-1 draw. Manchester United was a 0-0 draw. So they played Manchester United, their arch rivals. Arsenal, they're big title challengers as well. The biggest team they've played. But anyone below them, they have won. Newcastle are in a real bad way at the moment. They are absolutely running on empty with injuries. They have gone from having a season of high expectation to absolutely going to pieces in December. They played 9 matches in December, which is a huge amount of matches. They bowed out the Champions League. They bowed out of the English League Cup. They have a huge match next week. I don't know if geographically they play Sunderland, who are a championship side, which are only a few miles away from Newcastle. They're the absolute biggest of rivals, and they play them in the FA Cup next week. And it's the last chance of any silverware for Newcastle in this match. They have to win that match. Other teams at the top of the Premier League will take it easy, put reserve players out. Newcastle can't do that against their arch rivals. So that becomes really important. And I think this match is probably secondary to the Cup game, which is very unlike that. The manager's under pressure. They have Manchester City up after in the Premier League as well. They're a side in bad problems. They got beat 3-1 at home by Nottingham Forest. They got beat by Luton away in the match before. And I think that Liverpool, given their home form and on a roll, goals in them. Salah, one of his last matches before he goes off to the African Cup of Nations as well. So I believe that Liverpool put in a number here and win by -1. I think it's a great bet. I can't see anything other than Liverpool win. Liverpool have won the last 5 matches against Newcastle, and the last time Newcastle beat Liverpool was back in 2015, a run of 15 matches. And number 1 in the Billboard charts then was Sorry by Justin Bieber. And I will be very sorry if they're number 1.
There you go. Well done. All right, 2 matches today. Both totals are 3.5. You like one of them. What do you think?
Well, I did like them a couple of days ago. These matches have obviously been stretched over a 3-day period. You could bet 3 goals in the on the Asian line with a push on the Brighton v Tottenham game. I just think that's got goals written all over it. But I wouldn't play on the line now. I think we've missed the boat, to be perfectly honest with you. If you spoke to me a couple of days ago, I would have advised to take the over 3. But now you're taking minus money 3.5. And I know we've got a season of goals and we've got lots of action on goals at the moment. But 3.5 lines is something I wouldn't say. I think West Ham are just in and out. They're another inconsistent side, a bit like Manchester United. If you're looking at Arsenal, I think Arsenal will win tonight. I think Arsenal are quite good at home defensively, and I think West Ham will come and try to defend and try to hit them on the counter. So I think Arsenal to win to 0 may give you a little bit of extra value. I can't see anything other than Arsenal win. But that game, Brighton given the facts, the amount of goals that Brighton score in virtually every single match they turn off the pitch, Tottenham are exactly the same as well, score. And all their matches are over 2.5. All their matches are over 3.5 as well. So I think there'll be goals in it, but I couldn't play at the current lines. The line has moved so much over the last 2 or 3 days that I think it's probably about right now. But if you can get 3 goals with a push on that Tottenham match against Brighton, I think that will be the way I would go. But you've got to give up a little bit than what it was a couple of days ago.
How about some lower leagues, League 1, League 2?
Do you know what? I've had a good bit of run. We gave it a bet the other day, didn't we, on the lower leagues that won on here? There's a couple of bets I like. I like Bolton in League 1 to win away at Fleetwood. Bolton are a really good side. I like the manager. They're right in the shake-up. They lost 2 matches at the early part of the month, and everyone was saying, they're in trouble. But they've bounced back with 2 good wins as well. They've got a really big squad. They've got a really big support base. And this is where, this time of year, when you have 9 matches in a month, and they've got to play again as well next week, then they have the FA Cup game. This is really where the big, strong squads come to the fore. Definitely more so in the lower leagues in England rather than the Premier League, because the Premier League got squads of 40, 50 players. These boys have got squads of 16, 17, and they've got to play week in, week out, especially like the lower sides. And Fleetwood are one of the lower sides here. Fleetwood are on a terrible winless run. I think it's about 7 matches now they haven't won. In 6 of those matches, they failed to score. Bolton have got the best road defence in League 1. They were minus 110. They've been betting to about minus 115 now. But I think you'll see now these teams on the road around about minus 115, minus 120 that will win, because you'll suddenly see the top boys pull away and the teams at the bottom become more adrift, because this is where the real squads in England League One and League Two. And this is what I said to you loads of times before. Whenever I come to these shows, this is the time to judge me. Judge me now, because now we see the players coming in. Now we see the squads coming strengths, and this is where you will make money by betting on the bigger and stronger sides. I believe that Bolton will win against Fleetwood. And the other bet I like is MK Dons. They are at home in League Two to Crawley Town. Now, Crawley Town have got a brilliant home record. Not on the road, they're absolutely dreadful. MK Dons have just moved into the playoff spots. Again, big squad, lovely stadium. There has been money for them in the last 2 days. I would actually advise a parlay. They've never usually do the parlay, because the money's actually gone down a little bit on the MK Dons. The line has moved a lot. I'll go MK Dons in League Two and throw it in with Bolton away at Fleetwood. So it's a League One and League Two parlay.
All right. There we go. You can follow him on X. He's at Seeley_Nigel. Happy New Year. Have a great weekend. Okay, pal?
Yeah, have a great New Year, guys. All the very best. And thanks for everyone for watching. Thanks for your kind comments. And thank you very much for having me on the show over the last year. Take care, boys.
We appreciate it as always.
Moderation. Careful out there.
Best of luck. Up next, we'll get into Thursday Night Football, and we'll run down the list of quarterbacks who have had good games against this Jets defense this year. It won't take very long.
Juice Reel, a free betting intelligence app and a tool every bettor needs. It links your betting accounts into one app, delivers in-depth analytics on your betting history, and you have access to the betting history of billions of bets placed by all Juice Reel users. In-depth betting analytics, billions of data points, tail the winners, fade the losers. Robo Jackson, the AI bots it in better than 60% through 100 games. Check it out. Juice Reel, like orange juice, REEL. Download the free app in the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store. It's free. Juice Reel. Go get it today.
Final Thursday night game of the year, regular season, National Football League. Man, it flies by every single year, Paul. Nothing you can do about it.
Terrible.
And the Browns are laying 7.5. The total is either 34.5 or 35. Definitely shop around. As always, I'm a little bit concerned for Flacco tonight, because the Jets defense is so good, and he's been turnover prone in the 4 starts that he's made. He does have 7 INTs. And he has multiple INTs in the last 2 games. And the Jets defense overall, they've played a lot of good quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Remember the Robert Saleh quote? We embarrassed all of them. Josh Allen's first game, 3 INTs, they lost the game. Mahomes, 18 of 30, 203, touchdown, 2 INTs, almost lost the game. Jalen Hurts, 3 INTs, did lose the game. Herbert threw for $136, no touchdowns. Tua, the first game, 2 INTs, they won the game. I would like to make the case for the Jets tonight, but I can't get there, because it's Trevor Siemian and the offense is so bad. If it was a better quarterback, sure, but then the number wouldn't be 7.5.
All right, and it's also Schwartz against Hackett. You're talking about the number one defense in the league at home, and giving up 13 points per game. So I don't think it's going to go well, and the Jets are going to won't get anything going offensively. I love Flacco over 233.5. I don't think there's anything stopping this offense right now other than Flacco turning the ball over. I mean, the fact that the confidence that they have in him, they love him, what Rizzo talked about, exclusively going shotgun, throwing it all over the yard. Bears, great defense, 374. Houston, playing good defense, 368. Now, I have to have Cooper in there, and Rizzo thinks he's going to play, dealing with the heel, but also what he's done and what Njoku has done. And you can throw Elijah Moore in there, too, and the third option, and Rizzo gave out his prop earlier as well. But how many attempts is he going to have? Because it's like, wow, Ford, we'll just throw him out there. I mean, you don't even try to run the ball. Yeah. And Ford hasn't done much. So I understand what's happened this year, but I just think exclusively going shotgun and throwing it all over the yard here, and what they've done in the sick numbers that he's put up 1,300 yards in 4 games. He can't have 250? And how about the other, if you want to go alt numbers? I mean, he's 5-1 to throw for 300. He's 3-1 to get 280. I think all this is in play with this guy, and nothing's been able to slow him down right now.
One of the reasons why I loved watching the team play last week, and they are must-watch TV at this point with Joe Flacco taking so many shots down the field. No kicker was available, so they had to go for two every single time. I loved it.
How about the fourth down play to Cooper? Just throwing it up in the sideline catch as well.
Oh, no question.
I don't understand why you don't have a guy who can make a 25-yard field goal, even when there's an injury. That boggles my mind. But it was awesome. Just, all right, fourth down, here we go.
Right. Well, right. I mean, they don't carry enough kickers on the team, and when a guy goes down, obviously. But
I don't see why you don't have a back. The punter can't make a field goal?
That's what I've always wondered. Like, how do you
We've seen wide receivers that can come out and kick something, though, too.
No, he did point that out. He does have some concern. I mean, Tuesday they brought guys in, new kicker, new punter, new snapper tonight.
Yeah.
So that could be an issue, obviously. And by the way, when they were doing those 2-point conversion attempts last week, they pulled Flacco out of the game. They brought DTR into short yardage.
Right. First
scramble.
one was easy. Well, he's out for the year, though.
No, I know that.
So you got that. I know, but yeah.
And again, another thing to keep in mind, again, going back to the Flacco INTs. Jets have 14 interceptions as a team this year. The Browns have 16. Simeon's last 2 games, he had 1 pick himself last week against Washington. He had 2 against Miami. I kind of like both these bets. I'm gonna parlay Flacco INT and Simeon INT at plus 115. Maybe you can find higher than that. Also, you could parlay Flacco to throw an INT and the Browns still to win the game. That's around plus 135 or plus 140. Because I think he's going to be good for, again, think about how many shots he's taken deep down the field. If they can't run the ball tonight, that's probably going to continue. Why would it change? Because it's been so successful since they brought him in. You would think that's going to be the game plan. One of these passes, it'll be high percentage it gets picked off. And the Browns can still shut down Simeon in the offense and win the game, 17-3, whatever.
Yeah. Can you imagine the handle, though, and the liability with the Ohio books?
Oh, they're.
Our guy Dom in Poland and our friends in Youngstown. I mean, can you imagine? Or it's nothing but, and it opened 4.5 up to 7.5, but all the same game parlays. And give me Flacco over, Cooper over, and Joko over. Give me the teasers, everything, Browns on every single ticket.
Well, Ohio.
Maybe they press, too. I mean, what did he say? They haven't clinched a game at home since 2002, a playoff spot, whatever it is?
Yeah.
They made the playoffs once since 2003.
Oh, so my guess is they're feeling pretty good already at 8:20 a.m. Eastern time.
Oh,
right?
They're already tailgating.
Yeah, you imagine at Ohio Sportsbooks, who's betting the Jets tonight? Right? The public certainly won't be. It's going to be all Browns money. You maybe even like lay 9.5 on an out number, or maybe 13.5. Imagine they cover that. Imagine Flacco throws like 3 INTs and goes, or 3 touchdowns with like 300 yards, and then you have these guys popping anytime touchdowns.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like last night. You pointed this out earlier. The Bridges stuff for the Nets. News got out. They were going to play him to keep his streak alive and then yank him, and that's exactly what they did. And the same game parlays came in like crazy.
Yeah, it was a mini Draymond Green.
You're right.
He got 12 minutes instead of 30 seconds. So, but that maybe if Flacco turns it over and maybe they press too much, lose a low-scoring game. But look at the last 2 months of the NFL season. Expect the unexpected, right?
Right.
But this it has all the makings here where just Simeon needs a diaper and it doesn't go well, and they shut down Hall and Simeon can't get anything going. The other thing, how about Garrett Wilson? Now his prop is 51.5 receiving yards. This is nothing short of miraculous what he's done. For this guy to have almost 1,000 yards, and he's going to get 1,000 yards. For this guy to have 950 yards and 90 catches with the crap he's had at quarterback all year. I said it before the season. He was going to have 1,700 yards and 12, 13 touchdowns with Rodgers and all these catches. Everything was in play because of the rapport they had and how talented he is. And the guy's still going to have 1,000 yards with this Wilson, Boyle, Simeon garbage that they've trotted out there. So, I mean, they are so good at home defensively. Shut down Burrow. Allowed 3 to Tennessee. The Niners scored 17. They shut out Arizona. Pittsburgh got 10. 17 against the Bears. There was a defensive touchdown.
Yeah.
You don't get any, unless they turn it over in their own territory. I don't think the Jets are going to get much.
Do you think Wilson goes over 52.5 tonight? I mean, it's that low for a reason.
I think he'll get that, though.
I think so?
Yeah.
The Browns defense, they are number 1 DVOA against wide receiver number 1s, but they do allow 58.4 yards per game to that position. They're also like elite everywhere else. They are number 2 against wide receiver number 2s. They're first against tight ends, and they are 7th overall against running backs in the air. They're also number 1 against the rush. So Breece Hall, he went crazy last week for fantasy owners. it's a minor miracle, I think, if he goes. It could happen. It's the NFL, like you just said. But this Browns defense, the matchup here, it's a really bad one for Breece Hall tonight. I
have to take the alt yards with Flacco. I have to.
Are you going to go 3 or are you going to go like 275?
Go 280, start at the 275 range. Now, we talked about it earlier, they haven't allowed 300-yard passer in 33 games. Here's his attempts.
Easy cowboy.
No,
but yeah, go ahead.
His attempts, 42, 44, 45, 44. He's going to throw it 40 times. He gets Cooper on a couple deep balls. And Njoku on some yak. He can't get to 280? He's going to throw it 40 times tonight.
By my math, one quarterback has gotten to 280 this year on that team. On the Jets. That was Jalen Hurts, and he threw 3 INTs in that game. He had 280. Yep. Josh Allen, second game, he had 275. Dak had by far and away the best game by any quarterback against the Jets defense this year. He was great. He was 31 of 38 for 255 and 2 touchdowns. They ran the ball because they were up so big in the game.
I'm taking a shot.
Okay, I get it.
I understand, but I'm getting 5-1 though. That's the other. I'm getting 5-1. I'm getting 4-1 here. I mean, I'm not asking for 400 yards. I'm asking for 285.
And actually, Paul, you know what? I'll throw some of these games out too. Like the Tua's second game, he threw for 224, but that was a route, and it
was over, right?
It was over with early. And I got to be honest, who do you have more faith in right now as a quarterback throwing the ball and putting up stats, Joe Flacco or Patrick Mahomes?
Joe Flacco.
It's Joe Flacco with a bullet.
Yeah, guys are open. No one's open in Kansas City.
No, nobody is.
They also can't protect them. How about what Tony said? What if they win out? They win 12 games. I'll give them 270 yards passing tonight, and I'll give them 280 next week. Who's comeback player of the year?
He's got a great case.
Yeah? I know. He only plays 6 games, but...
This is where you need to handicap the voters, which is very difficult to do. And I'll go back to Peter King preseason when he said Hamlin takes 1 snap, it's over. So I don't know how the voters are going to think about that. I really don't.
Yeah.
But if they're going to give it to somebody not named DeMar Hamlin, this guy's got an incredible case right now. How do you? I mean, the guy, he got DirecTV to watch football this year from his couch.
Yeah, he was trying out for NFL analyst jobs, network jobs. Now, get out of here. Nope. What a gift that turned out to be. Saved their season.
Up next, professional sports bettor Brad Powers is going to join the show. We are down to 14 bowl games. We'll get his final thoughts on all of them coming up next on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Looking to bet smarter? VSiN has the perfect holiday gift for you. Sign up our holiday special today. Get VSiN Pro access. Everything we do through May 1st for only $79. Daily best bets, betting splits, 24/7 video, the betting guides, and the best bets for all the bowls, Super Bowl, March Madness, limited time holiday offer. VSiN.com/subscribe. Take the holiday special now. VSiN.com/subscribe.
We love talking to our next guest every week. Brad Powers joins the program now, professional sports bettor. You can follow him on X at BradPower7, and his website is BradPowerSports.com. Brad, happy holidays. How are you today?
Doing all right. I do a lot of shows, and I mentioned a few times I've been under the weather seriously the last few days, but feeling a little bit better this morning. Good to talk to you guys. Feeling a lot better because I had a good betting day finally for a change this bowl season yesterday. So 2 thumbs up.
So finally, all the work that you put into this, relentlessly on the clock, tracking this stuff, and getting ahead of maybe some of the best numbers. We saw the USC number crash yesterday. The Oklahoma State game, I mean, what'd that flip? I mean, 8.5 points, whatever it was. So good to see all that work finally pay off and that those numbers come in for you.
Yeah, that one, Virginia Tech, laying under a touchdown. The line closes 13. That comes through, although you had to, some of them are late numbers for clients and whatnot. You had to, sweat a little bit of that. But, look, I mean, obviously these bowl games, they're unique. They're more of a preview to 24 than they are, a final chapter of the 23 season. But, with all the opt-outs and transfer portal news and coaching carousel news, you would hope to get out in front of some big line moves, and then you'd hope to cash some of these tickets with the 6, 7, 8 points of CLV. I'll be honest with you, coming into yesterday, I wasn't the only one because let's just say you had a crystal ball, and you're saying, there's so much uncertainty in bowl season. I have the crystal ball. I know what games are going to move the most as far as the line moves. I'm only going to play the line moves that move 3 or more points from Circa's openers. we'll use that as as the starting off point. Coming into yesterday, if you'd have bet the biggest line moves in bowl season, you'd have went 5-11. And so yesterday you had a winning day for the first time this bowl season. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come. But typically, because I've been tracking these for 4 years, 2,000 game sample size. If you have that crystal ball and you're betting lines at sides and totals that move 3 or more points, you're hitting 60%. 5-11 heading into yesterday wasn't fun stuff. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, any predictions over the next? Let's go Thursday and Friday games on game day, where one of these matchups could move 3 or 4 points, maybe a couple hours before kickoff.
Well, I will say that's still surprising me. Some of these line moves that continue to move on game day, even though they've already been steamed significantly. Today, I wouldn't be a bit surprised Rutgers closes 3. I don't know if you're going to get a lot of resistance on the Miami side of things. It's been one-way action throughout bowl season. Rutgers opened as high as 6.5. I have that ticket in pocket. Let's hope that cashes. But yeah, that one could close 3. NC State, Kansas State, I wouldn't be surprised that one closes pick. Both teams have a lot in the transfer portal and whatnot. Kansas State has several starters. So that's one that can move a little bit. We'll see with Ohio State. That's one that's been on the move. Does that continue to move right back to where we started? Ohio State favored by 6.5. If everybody's going to play, I wouldn't be a bit surprised that that's the case there.
Does Georgia get to 21?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, who wants to bet Florida State without pretty much everybody? Georgia's got pretty much everybody. Looks like all hands on deck. I don't. The big thing is you don't see a pathway to success for Florida State's offense. You just don't with a third-string quarterback. Mm-hmm. I think Florida State team total under makes a lot of sense. I know that market opens up as you get closer to the kickoff as far as availability. I bet under. I'm not a part. That's one that I'm not a part of the Georgia team.
Okay. So with what you just said, moving forward, and it's more of what 2024 is going to look like, are you going to proceed with caution? Are you going to wait to bet? Are you going to bet late? What are you going to do moving forward with these bowls?
Great question. I've decided I'm going to be a little bit more conservative, mainly more with the G5 stuff. And people are going to be asked, well, you should have more, when it comes to G5 and uncertainty, you should have a bigger edge. I mean, I didn't this year. I mean, I was caught by surprise by a lot of the opt-outs in the quarterback position. Didn't have the Boise State quarterback hitting the portal after, he just won the Mountain West Championship game and played well. Yeah. The MAC quarterbacks, I didn't have hitting the portal. So that stuff I'll probably be a little bit more cautious. Obviously, I'm going to bet the playoffs. I mean, that helps, several games as far as the bowl games go, an expanded playoff. So I'm going to be aggressive there because there won't be as much uncertainty. The other ones, the games that I'll still attack is, anybody with a clue shouldn't have been surprised that Drake May didn't play for North Carolina. I'll still attack those types of games.
Okay, very good. Let's go to Fenway today. We start with SMU and Boston College. SMU up to 11. What do you think? This team made you some money this year.
Yeah, they have. I'm not wild about laying 11 outdoors in a baseball park. Speaking of outdoors, looks like the weather's not going to be good. Who would have thought that late, December, outside in a baseball game. So under for me, I got in front of it. It's a huge line move. It's moved like 6 points, but I would still lean that way. And when you got suppressed scoring, obviously, and I don't think the market ever does this, when you got a big favorite and you got suppressed scoring, you don't always see the side correlate with the total coming down. So I would lean BC plus 11 under 47.5.
Yeah, you've made the case a couple of times, I think, on this show for Oklahoma when it was at least 3, right? When they were catching at least 3. Did it ever get above 3 now that I'm thinking about it?
No, it didn't. Well, you know what? It did for like a day, but we're talking it was like 2.5 weeks ago.
So you made the case for the Sooners at that number then. The game took some under money. I think it was yesterday, now sitting at 59.5. Were you a part of that?
I am a part of that. So I have 64.5. You would hope the portfolio ends up at least on the positive side with all these 4, 5, 6, 7 point moves. Would I play it now? No. I'd be more in the lean Oklahoma situation. Might as well. Hell, I mean, money line underdog here, Oklahoma for me. I think they win the game.
How about NC State, K-State?
Another money line underdog for me on NC State. You obviously missed some of the better numbers as far as taking NC State above a field goal. But again, I think they win the game. It's important for them. This is a program that's only had one 10-win season. That's back when Phillip Rivers was their quarterback. If you remember, they had an opportunity 2 years ago to win 10 games in a bowl game. UCLA canceled the bowl game, a few hours before kickoff?
Oh, that's right.
They were pissed about that. I think they try to get their revenge here against a very short-handed Kansas State team that has several starters out, including their quarterback.
All right, very good. Friday, start with the Gator Bowl. Clemson against Kentucky. We've seen some under money. What do you think of Dabo's squad here?
I lean with Kentucky at open. It opened as high as 9. I wanted to play back a little Clemson. It got as low as 3.5 the other day. I was thinking, hey, is this going to touch 3? That would have been a major buy price for me on Clemson. At 5, it's kind of a dead number, so I'm just going to pass right now at the current numbers there.
All right.
You're a Notre Dame fan. They're laying 6.5 against Oregon State. Total is 41.5. What do you want, aside from any bets that you might have, what do you want to see happen with this team, maybe in the bowl game and then moving forward for next year?
Well, I'll start with the betting. Obviously I took Oregon State and under, but both teams are. This is the opt-out bowl. We're talking 23 starters combined between the two teams. Tough to really get a read now. I know a lot of people are still going to lean with Oregon State with so much uncertainty. I do follow Notre Dame. I will say this, as far as their depth, we're talking. Obviously, you got your starters 1 through 22. I'll tell you that 22 through 44, as far as talent. Experience for Notre Dame is probably the best they've had in 30 years. So I'm never really pro Notre Dame. I'm just always sky is falling, Chicken Little crowd. I wouldn't be a bit surprised they cover this one. So I would lean Notre Dame at the current numbers. Just the feeling from watching the practice reports and getting a feel for them down at the Sun Bowl. I'll say this. Nobody's reported this. Oregon State only has 3 coaches, regular full-time coaches. Everybody else is GAs and analysts that they've had to hire full-time to prep the team. That's a skeleton crew against what I perceive to be a good Notre Dame coaching staff. And speaking of that, for the first time in a long time, I actually feel positive about Notre Dame. The hire of Denbrock, paying him, making him the highest paid OC. Looks like they're going to try to make Al Golden the highest paid DC. Finally, Notre Dame spending money on the football program that made the university. Otherwise, it'd just be a nothing on the map in northern Indiana. So I'm actually very happy with Notre Dame football right now.
All right, excellent. There you go. 40 seconds. How about the Liberty Bowl in Memphis and Iowa State laying 11?
I can't get there now. That's another one. It's moved 5-6 points now from as low as 5.5. Obviously, I understand the move. Iowa State, even though it's played in Memphis' home stadium, will have more fans. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go over. I'll check the weather, but I'm going to go over the total. It's as low as 57 in some spots right now.
All right, let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Professional sports bettor Brad Powers, our guest. We'll continue with one more segment with Brad, and we'll get into the playoff games that we have on New Year's Day on Monday. His final thoughts here, well, for us anyway, on the Thursday before the games on Alabama, Michigan, and Texas, Washington next here on VSiN.
Become a VSiN Pro subscriber today. Get a daily email recapping all the best bets from every host and guest. Unlimited access to the vsin.com/picks page. Sort by sport, matchup, date, and more. Check the leaderboard to view betting records, profit, ROI, and who has the hot hand. Pro picks, betting splits, power ratings, dog videos. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber today. $9.99. vsin.com/subscribe.
As we continue here talking college football, professional sports bettor Brad Powers joins the program. Follow him on X at BradPower7. His website again is BradPowerSports.com. We'll hit the remaining bowl games, but we want to get into the playoff games first here on Monday, New Year's Day. The Rose Bowl is the first one, 2 o'clock Pacific time. Michigan, 1.5, total 44.5 in that range. I know we've brought this up to you before. Always a new audience, though, here, maybe especially during the holidays. Overall, and having like 3 weeks to think about it here, which side do you like, Brad?
Yeah, you've heard me all day. If you caught the last segment, the lines move too much, lean this, lean that. I'll give you a best bet. Best bet for me is Alabama. Obviously the line hasn't moved too much. There'll be a battle, and I'm probably on the square side of things here because it just seems too easy. But Let's look at number of 5-star recruits on the roster. Alabama 18, Michigan 2. Number of top 100 recruits on the roster. Alabama 47, Michigan 10. And I got a plus sign next to Alabama. Speaking of the plus sign, this is the first time Alabama's been an underdog against anybody not named Georgia since 2009. And in the 4 games they were an underdog in that time period against Georgia, they won 3 of them outright. And let's talk about postseason. And the differences between Harbaugh and Saban. Harbaugh's 0-6 his last 6 bowl games. Has lost them or failed to cover them by an average of 16 points per game. 16 points per game. 0-6 against the number, 0-6 straight up, losing by 14 points per game. Saban, when you give him extra time to prep, exclude the title game because that's only, 8 days? I'm talking about a month between the between the end of the regular season and the semifinals or just a regular bowl game. He's won 8 in a row by 21 points per game, and he's covered them on average by 10 points per game. He's got a couple of non-covers there. He's 6-2. But still, even when you factor those in, he's still covering them, exceeding expectations by 10 points per game. Then you talk about, forget all the trend lines and all that stuff. Michigan hasn't seen a quarterback like Jalen Milroe. Just haven't seen a talent like that. Speaking of that, Michigan hasn't played hard. The first 8 games of the season, Michigan didn't play anybody. Yep. And it just so happens the final 4 games when they stepped up in class, and you could say, you look at the power rankings and look at who they played, and it was the 4 best teams they played all season. Michigan's offense averaged 282 yards per game. That would rank number 129 in the country if you put that out full season. So I'm not buying the Michigan offense. And Alabama's strength of schedule, number 1. So I know what I'm getting from Alabama. They played teams all year. So Alabama, for me, best bet.
Oh, that's an awesome breakdown. Have you gotten creative at all? Are you going to do like maybe Alabama team total over? Are you playing any alts? Are you going to lay like 7 points with Alabama or anything like that?
Yeah, Alabama alts. I probably won't go wild with the total being low as far as, laying more than, 13.5-ish, probably as high as I'd be willing to go there. Alabama team total, I will try to go in pocket there. Michigan team total under, because I just that's more of my handicap is I don't see Michigan's offense pathway to success. I don't see their wide receivers getting separation. So, I'll be involved in all that.
How about the other semi, the Sugar Bowl? And are you also hearing maybe 80-20, even more in support of Texas fans buying up all the tickets and making the short travel compared to Washington fans?
Yeah, I am hearing that. But I'm also hearing that Washington's going to get money in the marketplace. So if you want to bet Washington, I'm not sure you're going to get a better number than 4, to be honest with you. I think it's going to come down. So obviously, if you want to bet Washington, do it now. If you want to bet Texas, wait a little bit. I think you're going to get a better number on the Horns. Another one where I'm probably on the square side of things, I just prefer Texas. I like them up front more than Washington. And I just go back to the fact that, people are now the people that I respect and the circles I run in are now wanting to bet Washington. I don't get it. Just the game, the one game ago, everybody was telling me, it was anti-Washington. It was a big reason why they were a 10-point underdog against Oregon. So what's changed? They played their best game of the season, but this is still a Washington team that's won 9 straight games by 10 points or less. I think they're going to get exposed here. Texas off their back-to-back best 2 games offensively of the season. Sark's been there, done that as far as being in these big playoff games, not necessarily as a coach, but as a coordinator and whatnot. Texas for me.
Okay. How about the Peach Bowl? Ole Miss and Penn State.
Well, I'll say generally speaking, I'm glad that a lot of guys haven't opted out of this game, so to speak. I think the winner is going to be preseason top 5, so it'll be interesting in that aspect. I bet Penn State and I bet the over. I'd prefer the over now more at the current numbers.
Auburn open 2 up to 7. What do you want to do, Auburn, Maryland?
I bet Auburn and the over at the current numbers over for me.
Okay. And you love Wyoming? They're now 3.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I don't, Toledo starting quarterbacks out. Now Penny Boone, their outstanding running back, just hit the portal in the last day or two. Their best offensive lineman's out. And then let's keep it simple, handicapping 101. Final game for Craig Bowl. He's well-liked by the players. In his final game, I think I'm going to get an A effort out of Wyoming. And people aren't going to think about this. They'll have a significant crowd edge, too, in this bowl game.
And you got your wish in the LSU game, right? No Daniels. You wanted to lay it with LSU?
Yeah. Am I running to lay 10 now? No, when it dropped as low as 7. Yeah, I mean, I still lean that way at 10, but man, the up until even yesterday, you could have laid 9.5. But yeah, I also think another thing. LSU lost their coordinator, and I like Mike Denbrock. I'm very happy to get him as a Notre Dame fan, but I also think Brian Kelly will kind of have an axe to grind losing a guy like that, and he's going to have two young offense coordinators coordinating the game. I think they'll be pretty aggressive here, so LSU for me.
In the appetizers Monday, Fiesta Bowl, you make Oregon 20 against Liberty?
Yeah, I bet Oregon. I wasn't afraid. I know they might not be that motivated, but Bo Nix is playing, and such disparity as far as strength of schedule here. Oregon and over.
And we're down to 6 with Tennessee, 35 in the Citrus against Iowa, no Milton, and it's going to be a freshman quarterback for Tennessee.
I'm not a big Joe Milton guy. I think Nico's obviously very talented. It's not ideal going up against this Iowa defense in your first start, but Iowa's no good, folks. They played 2 teams this year with a pulse. Michigan and Penn State lost 57-0. I mean, Tennessee is not Michigan. They're not Penn State, but they are better than the Big Ten West that Iowa somehow won games against this year. Tennessee under a touchdown for me.
It almost looks funny now looking at an Iowa total of 36.
Yeah, right.
But,
yeah.
I mean, it is Tennessee. They can put points on the board. And, I mean, what will Iowa's offense do in the bowl game for the final, for their 2023 finale?
2 words, not much. I don't see it. Do you see it? I mean, I know Tennessee's got they got some opt-outs in the secondary. They won't be able to take advantage of it. I mean, they got the only pathway to success for Iowa's offense is via turnovers by their defense. Other than that, I don't see a pathway. I'd be stunned if they're scoring more than 14 here.
Did they tell Ferentz to kick rocks, or is he still gonna last game for him, right?
I think he's still gonna coach.
Okay. Now, why wouldn't you just try everything? Like you should have done in the Michigan game. Try trick plays, fake stuff. I mean, you're fired. What the hell's the difference?
Agree. You would like if you got an Iowa ticket, you'd like to see that.
Yeah, why not? By the way, if you're right on both the playoff games, I don't think college football can go wrong with any of the potential national title game matchups.
Yeah,
I think they're all sexy teams.
Yeah.
But how Texas, Alabama, if that's the title game in a rematch
in Texas?
Oh my God, that's one of the biggest of all time.
Yeah, it'll be the highest rated college football playoff game since the first one, the Ohio State-Oregon game. And that was mainly due to the fact, that people thought it was something different. But that'll be the most watched game since then.
Yeah. Awesome stuff as always. Thanks for the time. We know that you're a little under the weather. Hope everything corrects there. And also good to have you back on the winning side yesterday with a good day. And hopefully all this other stuff comes through as well. Happy New Year, Brad. Thanks so much for the time.
All right. Happy New Year, guys. Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you're just tuning in, you need to go back later on this morning when it's posted, the Follow the Money podcast, wherever you get your podcast, and listen to Brad's breakdown on Alabama and in Michigan just now. I loved Alabama already, and I've bet them several times. I'm going to keep adding more.
That is going to be a fantastic watch. There's a big reason why we couldn't get an expanded playoff, the Rose Bowl, holding college football hostage. But you'll see it New Year's Day with the 2:00 start, and then the sun sets third quarter, and the pageantry and the pomp and circumstance, and Alabama and Michigan. It'll be great. And then we have a hell of a nightcap, too.
Yeah, I'm sure what that's going to look like with the Crimson Tide fans, the Michigan fans taking up 50-50 probably in that stadium, the drone shots that we're going to get.
Yep.
It's going to be a phenomenal watch for a good 3 hours. There's no question. So it's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Up next, Mike Palm is the VP of Circa Resort and Casino. He's going to join us in studio. Circa Survivor is down to 4. The value of each entry is now $2.3 million plus. Do we have a chop? We'll get into it with Mike coming up next here on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.